when you're working with the feminine, it's embodiment. The feminine, the Shakti, is feeling. And when we feel, we have to go into the body again. I teach a lot of teachers, so a lot of women that are feeling this awakening or feeling, oh, I can feel something within me, but I don't know how to harness the energy. So I get a lot of women come to me to learn, how do I direct it and how do I jump on my soul mission, my soul path, I want to give back to humanity, I want to give back to the world. And how do I do this? How do I step into this path? I've been working with men for years, and I've watched their journeys and readings and healing men on the path, and there's always something missing for them, that initiation into manhood.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here with Trisha. How are you, Trisha?
I'm very good.
Very nice. So Trisha is a Tantra teacher and a High Priestess and a love and sexual coach. Mm-hmm. And she's back on the channel after maybe a year or so.
Yes.
So I think you're probably one of the most sort of famous Tantra teacher in Koh Phangan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So very excited to have a little chat with you again. Mm-hmm. Okay, first of all, I mean, I know you've been recently filming with the Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So I had a whole crew come out the end of last year to film the wellness industry and to film me teaching Tantra for couples. And it was more scientific, or to prove the science behind Tantra. So, which is my forte, being a naturopathic doctor, a nutritionist, and so that was, a beautiful challenge for me to prove to mainstream that Tantra is not just fluffy, foo-foo, or orgies or sex. It's actually something quite beautiful and quite healing and quite connective, especially with couples. So and I really, really enjoyed it.
Very lovely. Do you know when is coming out, the documentary?
It's already been launched, so it's already out and about. I think it's on YouTube, I think it's on all around.
Very nice. So we're probably going to put the link in the description of this little video.
Definitely.
Okay, so a good experience for you filming with them?
Yeah, definitely. It's proving that this works and proving about the breath work that we do, sublimation, using the energies, eye gazing, what it actually does to the body, releasing all the endorphins and hormones, oxytocin, and really changing the structure of the body and mind, body and soul. So into the wellness industry.
Yes, because wellness back in the days used to be more like a posh spa in some hotel, maybe a nice massage. Whilst these days, healing is part of wellness, right? So wellness has expanded and we have more esoteric practices, and Tantra now is part of wellness indeed, because being able to reconnect with your sexual energy and sort of connecting with the vital aspect of yourself is very, very, it brings well-being for sure. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Like we look at the psychology behind everything as well. Psychology, the spirituality, like you said, the esoterics, but we also look at the physical and what's going on when we are in a really stressful state, what it does to the body, as we all know. So all these practices, bring so much healing, so much healing.
Okay, that's lovely. Okay, I know that at the moment you're doing quite a bit of work with ladies particularly, is that right? Mm-hmm. And there is the goddess archetype. Yes. So the goddess archetype is a sort of archetype for every woman out there that can be recognized or awakened, is that right?
Well, we are all goddesses. We are all goddesses, every single woman, but sometimes we don't realize it, we don't understand it, and there is archetypes of that goddess. Like, for instance, we have Goddess Kali, we have Goddess Isis, all different flavors of the feminine or the Shakti, and this trickles down into the feminine as well. So with the feminine, we have all different archetypes as well. We have all different personalities. Of course, men always say you've got thousands of personalities, and we do. And most women only tend to go to one archetype, or because it's comfortable. Maybe the good girl, or maybe the people pleaser, or only shows a certain type of personality with a mask. But behind that mask, we've got so many archetypes, so many flavors, and to be able to bring this through, this is what I love to do, is to bring through the archetypes of the feminine, the dark, the shadowy, the divine, and connecting it also with the goddesses as well, because she also too has these archetypes, all different flavors. So yeah.
Okay, and the kind of work you do with women around the goddess archetype, is it, of course there's some theory, but it's very experiential, isn't it, right? That's your flavor of workshops.
Definitely.
What do you do?
When you're working with the feminine, it's embodiment. The feminine, the Shakti, is feeling. And when we feel, we have to go into the body again. You know, we look at a lot of people, it's so hip at the moment, goddess and feminine embodiment and feminine this and that. But the real truth behind it is feeling into what she represents. It's an energy. Mm-hmm. It's an ancient energy that is everywhere. And when it's accessed, it's not how we dress. Oh, I feel like a goddess today, I'm just going to put on this dress or adorn myself in jewels. Or it's actually an ancient energy coming through. Of course it is. It's from the dawn of time. And to be able to access that through a feminine body, and to be able to open portals, open up channels within a female body, is powerful. And this is what I teach, is to be able to bring these ancient energies in, not to just look a certain way, but to feel a certain way. Because the Shakti is about feeling, it's about embodying, coming back in, even into, you know, we look at, let's have a look at spirituality. It looks at ascension, or we look at spirituality as we have to be enlightened, and we have to go out of the body to be something. But when you step on the goddess path, it's actually coming back into the body, coming back, descending into somatic practices, coming back into feeling, coming back into even the uncomfortable parts of ourselves, and working on that, or moving through that. When we come back into the body, we actually unlock heaven within the body. We do.
So experiences of well-being on a day-to-day basis, as well as bliss, maybe through lovemaking, or just, I don't know, I mean, how do you explain heaven?
Okay, so a woman's womb is the portal between earth and heaven. Mm-hmm. We actually, for instance, when we give birth, we are the in-between, between the soul coming in and then birthing it out into the world. So we are actually gatekeepers. And this is when a woman can really tap into that goddess energy and start to unlock these mysteries within her this is where the power of the feminine starts to unravel and unveil within herself. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And would you say that sort of the ladies that come to you are more sort of like corporate executives in a very male-dominated or masculine kind of environment, or is more like ladies that have been on a path of Tantra for quite a while already? Or what kind of people do you tend to attract?
Yeah, I attract all sorts, to be quite honest, but I do attract a lot of corporate women because they want to feel again, they want to step out of the patriarchal system. And I say patriarchal not as in a feminist movement either, because I so love men, because the men have been tainted with the patriarchal as well, the system. But I mean, it's so male dominated in a corporate field that they've shut off the most powerful part of themselves. They're in concrete jungle. We're lucky, I think I've said this last time in the podcast, that we're lucky we live in jungle, we're not in concrete jungle. So, you know, they're yearning for nature, they're yearning for the natural world, they're yearning for something more, and getting out of the prison. I think we all know this, yeah, we all know this in the Western world. So definitely corporate women and women that are already on the path that want to start to teach. I teach a lot of teachers, so a lot of women that are feeling this awakening or feeling, oh, I can feel something within me, but I don't know how to harness the energy. So I get a lot of women come to me to learn how do I direct it and how do I jump on my soul mission, my soul path. I want to give back to humanity. I want to give back to the world. And how do I do this? How do I step into this path? And so I teach a lot of teachers.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And so typically, I mean, you do different kind of sessions, but also you hold workshops and teacher trainings, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the shortest sort of entry level teaching that you do? Is it?
Yeah, so I start with sunset tantra, goddess activations, like little 3-hour workshops for women to introduce people into Tantra, to let them know that it's not scary, it's not sex orgies or inappropriate touching, or you know, when couples come into my Tantra sessions, this is so important because I love and I'm passionate about couples, that they stay together throughout the whole session of my Tantra classes or workshops or retreats. It's yeah. So I bring in introduction or like a little flavor, but then my retreats go really deep into diving into the mysteries, diving into, especially for women, the goddess, sacred sexuality, a lot, because a lot of women, that's what they want. They want to rid themselves of guilt, shame. They want to rid themselves of all this conditioning and start to recondition themselves into what is true, or what is true within them. Yeah.
Talking about men, I also know that you have a man path available to gentlemen like myself, is that right? So the Awakened Man. What is it?
The Awakened Man. So this is I'm very passionate about this, and I've been working with men for years, and I've watched their journeys and readings and healing men on the path, and there's always something missing for them, that initiation into manhood, that initiation, and I see it so much. And I lost my brother 2 years ago to suicide, and this shifted me, this completely changed me in the way I see men. And I see, not in all, but the ones that come to me, the pain that they hold. And this is already resonating with me already before this all happened. And I feel this initiation is needed, or this men to be able to feel as well. because out in the Western world, they don't get to feel. There's no outlet for a man to be able to express his pains, his sufferings, his pressures. Because the masculine, the men, they have so many, they have to be this, they have to be that, they have to provide, they have to, you know, it's like everything. And so this is a container that I am creating that is able to help men to be able to go into releasing and feeling again, and to be able to, to go into their natural masculine energy, not the soft, beautiful, heartfelt man. Yeah, and us Shaktis, we're all waiting for it. we love, well, I love men, and I really feel a calling to work with men, to heal this part, or to be able to allow them to feel again, and to be able to be strong in the way they want to be strong. Yeah.
Sounds lovely indeed. And interesting you say men need some sort of initiation, because rites of passages were very common in traditional societies. You know, like when a boy would become a man, he maybe had to go on his own into the jungle, or do some sort of ritual of initiations. Indeed, there was some sort of rite of passage which was clear and well defined. Whereas maybe we lost that a little bit in Western society, and also the fact that indeed the man identity is under pressure. I mean, very much these days. I mean, society is changing very rapidly.
Yeah.
And on one side, men need to be sort of the traditional man, strong and powerful and like unemotional. On the other side, though, there is a crave indeed for connecting with our inner sort of softness, as you said it, or like having an outlet for expressing emotions in a functional and healthy way. And and how do we define men these days with all these sort of gender changes, ideologies coming? We live in confusing times. So
Definitely. And it's all about, for the man, I mean, the man needs to, back into tribal days, I know in my Aboriginal culture, there was always the man, it was called walkabout. So the young boy at around 12, 13 would go, and his initiation was to walk out into the bush and to go.
Okay. But
he always had an elder. There was always an elder to feed him the wisdom and knowledge, and we've lost that. And this is where the man is lost, because there is no wisdom, there is no feeding down and giving the wisdom to the man or the next generation. So men, not all men, but a lot of men are lost a little bit in their path of, well, who am I and how do I show up? A lot of awakened men are already on the path, but a lot are falling behind, and they're in a lifestyle that they hate. They going to jobs they hate, being pressured, being not being able to really connect in their world, their relationships, their family, with themselves. This is really important for a man to be able to connect, because his innate part of him is to want to protect or to provide but in his own way. To find your own identity is the most important with this work. Yeah.
Sure, very nice.
Yeah.
And how is is it a workshop or is it like a retreat?
Retreats.
Wow, how long?
Yeah, so we got 3-day retreats and coming up in Koh Phangan.
And it's just for men, or the
just
ladies
for
coming?
Men.
Only
just
for
men.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's very exciting indeed. Very nice. And also talking about Koh Phangan leads me to the next question, because I think I've heard that you are about to launch the Egyptian Tantra in Koh Phangan. Because of course, I mean, Egypt always been part of a sort of, your love or passion, right? connecting with this ancient culture and bringing it to life in the modern world, right? That's you go to Egypt regularly, you do retreats there, etc. But you haven't done so much with the Egyptian Tantra in Koh Phangan particularly, right?
No, I have not. So I'm really excited to launch Egyptian Tantra here in Koh Phangan. We have a lot of Buddhist Tantra, Indian Tantra, Neo-Tantra, but I haven't birthed my baby yet here completely, fully. And in the next month, I'll be doing many retreats in Egyptian Tantra.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
Here and ongoing.
Okay, yeah. And of course that differs from sort of the other type of workshops and classes that you do, because sort of the archetypes are Egyptians in nature, the energies are a bit different compared to sort of the goddess archetype or the masculine side, or how does it differentiate?
Well, when we look at Egyptian Tantra, it's, I mean, they believed in the magic in all. As above, so below. So they looked at, we were the mirror of reflection of the cosmos. So of course the goddess is involved in Egyptian Tantra. Of course the feminine and the masculine. If anybody's gone to Egypt, you will see in the hieroglyphs, the masculine, feminine, there's always, in the hieroglyphs, there's always a god and goddess. There's always that duality. There's always that balance. So that, yeah, it's all connected. It's all, yeah.
Okay, that's very lovely. So we are looking forward to having that. Looks like you're a very productive sort of teacher, right? And it seems like you want to do more and more. I mean, how is your day-to-day life? Can I ask? Maybe it's a bit of an intimate question. I'm not sure.
I work a lot. I've got so much channelings coming through of what I want to do. Launching so many things. I have so many online courses, teaching internationally around the world, doing my spiritual tours to Egypt, and also working here and planting my teachings here in Koh Phangan. So I work all day, and then I will go and relax with maybe Zen beach or drumming, or come back into community, and relax. But I've got a lot on. Yeah.
I think the beauty of sort of having access to your inner energy, feminine energy, even sexual energy, is that you can manifest creativity more meaningfully. Is that right? It's one of the perks, I think, of having a spiritual and a sort of tantric lifestyle, is that you become more creative. So
definitely, you just keep getting creative and creative. I guess. Well, it is creative energy, isn't it? We are birthed from creative energy. So, of course, if you're working in the tantric path, you're going to be accessing this creative energy and coming back into source and alignment with yourself.
And of course, it seems being such a strong vocation for you, you call it work, but it's not really work, right? It's in a way that is a calling for you. Is that right? Or I mean, there is also a work component, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Thank God I've hired people to help me, because you always need help. A queen always needs help.
Sure.
but definitely. There's so much work coming through, and it's not work for me. It's my lifestyle, and showing people. This is one of my passions, is to show people there is magic in life. There is magic in between the everyday. There is something, and people feel it. And so I'm able to capture that and to be able to allow them to feel their own magic and to see the wonders and see life a little bit more.
Wow, and what a gift for somebody that maybe indeed has been trapped in a concrete jungle in some sort of corporate job for so long, and their soul is gone so dry,
Yeah.
And then you can reconnect with the elements and with the sort of the inner vitality of yourself. Yeah. This is gold, isn't it? Yeah, it's so good for people as well that they experience this, I can imagine.
When I see people shifting and changing and coming into their own or finding their magic for the first time, or finding their sexuality for the first time. You know, especially my people are from 20 up to 70. You know, when a woman is in her 70s and she's orgasming again and juicy, and it's like, yes. You know, this is, and I love and I'm passionate about this, is it brings people back to their truth, who they are, of releasing, you know, and most of us, we think 70-year-olds should be at home knitting and, you know, preparing and doing this and that and looking after grandchildren and family, but not anymore. Not, you know, their life is changing, and yeah.
And indeed.
And to see this in my workshops, to see this in my retreats, to see this aliveness again in people, you know, and it's yeah, beautiful.
Wow, Trisha, thank you very much. You know, it's been lovely to have you back indeed. You know, I'm very honored, you know, second time. And well, I wish you the best for all these wonderful things you're doing on the island. And yeah, kapon kap.